I mentioned it earlier, but a one-piece TCG player more than anything else at the moment. He top-cutted a regional recently, which was very impressive.
Yeah, I remember talking to him about Wavelength just before our block and saying like, hey, we'd love to have you there. And his response was essentially, as production, we're going to get into the game, not back to us. He was like, yeah, I'd love to, but I actually just have a one-piece regional that day, sorry.
Yeah, and he got, I think, third or second at that the one that he placed high at, which is a very good placement in, a 2,000-person TCG regional.
Exactly. Listen, the one gob is real, man.
The one gob is real. And if there's one thing Big Gob knows, it's that the comeback is always greater than the setback. He was set back a little bit earlier on by getting put down into losers. He's looking to have that big comeback and make top 8 anyways.
Meanwhile, Danny just trying to find a way around this throw. Again, what a beautifully timed Wolf Flash to dance perfectly around that back air from Roy. Now he's just trying to trap the landing, the parry on point, gets the grab, pushes you to the corner, and last is going to be all about the ledge of how do you reset the scenario. Because that's where Danny's bread and butter keeps coming from.
Looking for this jab here, but it ends up being a sour spot, and the F-tilt doesn't do the job either. So Danny's going to be able to fight out and catches the tech with the down smash. Goblin, despite a great start, has to get onto the back foot, but he's pretty darn good at dancing off that back foot because it's just a dash attack, and we're back to even.
And listen, nobody does a dance like Roy with that double-edged sword going back and forth as Danny trying to find his timing mix, his pacing mix when he's still looking for these very flowchart combos of his neutral air, right, forward air, and maybe that up air or grab to boot. Goblin knows what he's looking for. They all come out at the same timing, but it's up to Danny to just keep you guessing on the movement, the pacing, and the discipline alone, and he's done a great job of that so far.
Down tilt not going to connect. That was a little bit of odd hurt boxing from Danny there, because I thought for sure, and I think Goblin thought for sure he would get that hit, but Danny instead is the one who gets a big old hit in the form of that back air for the stock.
That DI not looking quite optimal from Goblin, so he's going to take that one from all the way across stage, but Danny now finding a way into a juggle 2. Goblin has the potential to take the stock back, keep this one even, looking for the tech chase, but unfortunately reads the roll wrong, and so it's going to be Goblin at least getting the reset, but doesn't get away. Danny able to keep the pressure on here, even as it resets to neutral last. It's Danny who has to get parried into the Thundercat, going ho for Roy to take that Goblin back in this one, but Danny still having a definite pacing.
And Danny pacing his way through that game number 1 and into game 2, and I hear the crowd coming alive for, like we've talked about so extensively, the hometown hero, Middle Tennessee's number 1, trying to make his way into top 8 of Middle Tennessee's biggest event.
And now, last, up 1-0, Goblin gonna take as the Hollow Bastion for the counter pick. That center platform, I feel like, is so incredibly strong for him here, right? His ability to find the juggles, to kind of homogenize some of Wolf's recovery. You don't get those platform mix-ups for him. You don't get to sit off to your side and force them to approach underneath the platform. They're always above it, they're always underneath it, and the landings are a lot more homogenous, so I think it's going to help out Goblin well, but if he gets over-aggressive on his falling aerials, Danny will make you pay with the juggles.
Danny already making Goblin pay a little bit for a quick overextension. Now doing it again. Great use of laser. And Danny just untouched. Nair out of the corner, pushing Goblin into it.
Beautiful spacing there for the F-tilt, but unfortunately, he's not getting much more. Goblin, the one who's able to dislodge you from underneath the platform, but Danny, again, slowing the pace of that game down, using that laser under the lean-to in turn to keep the pressure going. It's just going to be the Phantom Footstool to get out of dodge, but again, Goblin still disciplined, ready, catches you with the grab, resets the scenario. Oh, I like how much we're seeing these combo extensions get dropped, prioritizing positioning overall and then the reset because they know that they'll be there before it's just a read away from a stock for either player at any given time.
Does not matter how much of a lead you build up. If you roll the wrong way one time against a Roy Tech chasing you, it is all but over. Getting back to stage.
Find it with the Dancing Blade, double-edged dance there, not going to take the stock, but it is going to take the pressure. Now it's going to be Goblin pushing you back to the coast last, calling out that Wolf Flash spacing, and Danny, even with the mix-up, still can't get Goblin to bite on anything.
Goblin could have gotten so much more off of that failed Wolf Flash, so Danny kind of got to thank his lucky stars that Goblin wasn't as perfect in his execution as he usually is. Dash attack through, gets shield up in time, and Goblin's shield starting to look kind of small. Yeah, run away and let that regen a little bit.
Especially at 170, but you've already built up 80% of extra credit, but there's no bigger stock differential last than the difference between 2-2 and 1-3, right? Even if you're at 170%, it just is such a momentum swing here as Goblin does lock in that huge swing his way. 171, 3 stocks to 1. Yeah, you get the hit from Danny, you do take the stock, but you still are a whole stock down.
Trying to use that laser to build up some of this deficit, or build back some of this deficit, rather. Gets a couple fairs. Goblin spot dodging in place twice, not really sure what defensive option to choose. He chooses all of them, and none of them work.
Yes, sir. Now these two are swinging up air, back airs, trading the same combo back and forth, like seeing like, as they try to shark the platform to get that jug, get that advantage, pushing you to the corner. But it's going to be Goblin finding the grab, catching these landings that way time and time again, giving Wolf a big old hug to never let him get away.
So many up airs coming through, and Danny all the way up to 93%. Goblin letting slip an opportunity there, but not letting slip this opportunity. Always on point in those situations. Catches the tech in place with an F-tilt, and the game goes his way to even us up.
And that's one of those situations, we see it a lot from Fox, I think especially, right? Where you put a tech where, especially in the corner where Roy gets to, or Fox, or like player says, okay, I have one option here, dash attack, that covers miss tech, it covers tech in place, and it covers tech roll away. Tech roll in is a 50-50, but if you're right on your timing, you can, especially in the corner like that, react to it to find that swing back. So great stuff from Goblin, putting you in the situation to cover every option because of Roy's speed, and it's gonna let him even up the set.
But still has a lot of work to do. Goblin starts off strong though, quick little nair into a jab, but Danny fights back quickly, and that is just the story of this set. Neither one of them, even though Goblin had like a pretty big lead towards the tail end of that game, Danny was still fighting back. Neither one of them is anywhere close to capable of running away with it from the other. Danny resetting over and over up on top of that platform.
Like Goblin just giving himself the being patient, right? Letting him tech, not trying to find the extension and potentially let Danny get out of dodge. He's like, push your defensive option. I will just cover it after the fact because I get down fast enough, have the blade that I can cover the space I want to look for. He goes for the jabs at ledge, doesn't find them, backs off, tries to get the landing, but a little slight overextension is going to allow Danny to get the hit in turn, just not able to get back, and so it's going to be Danny taking the first stock from Goblin's slight mistake.
That seems to be the way that Danny's been rolling throughout this entire bracket. And also this set, and just barely misses. It warmed up his toes by the fire, by the hearth, but it wasn't enough to do any real damage.
Yes, sir, he might be our boy, but he's not able to lock in and find that stock. The beast within Danny reigning supreme there on the microspacing. Looking for the down to look, went for the roll read in F smash. The flashes of Jackal shining through, but he's not able to find it just yet. So instead, it's going to be sharking the landing, try and find a back air, but Goblin there ready to contest it with his blade.
F-tilt from Goblin, finally going to be enough for the stock there, but 112 now on the perfect line is Danny to try and take this stock out, and he'll never see a 113.
Now Danny's taking some adaptation from Goblin's game plan, right? Utilizing those grabs to catch landing that we've seen Goblin do throughout this bracket. Now starting to show up in the plan of Danny's own here in this game 3. Beautiful feint, empty hop, double jump back, fade back from the platform to keep Goblin guessing in shield, and then calls out the shield drop for the stock. Huge advantage here with stage and counter pick here on the line for the set. Goblin needs to find the stock quick if he wants to stay in this game.
Back air, gonna connect. Danny so good at just getting these little onesies, twosies, and once again the up smash.
But those
not successful.
Those toes are nice and heated right now.
Not even crispy.
I like the
so much patience.
Yeah, I like the way he's holding this ledge platform, but not unwilling to back off. Gets a little over aggressive there, and again, Goblin just swatting him away.
Nair gonna connect. Goblin fighting back in a big way. Lots of damage coming through, and this game is still very, very winnable, despite how in control Danny has seemed. Once again, though, Danny gonna catch a shield cross with a Nair. That Nair is omnidirectional. Doesn't care which part of shield you're hitting. Oh, but jab F smash!
You can't DI that in. You can't DI that in last.
That's how you die?
not an option.
Listen, I'm hearing some Linkin Park ringing in the background, right? Because it feels like Danny has come so far and he's tried so hard, but it doesn't matter how disciplined he is because all it takes is the one mistake for none of that to even matter at all. Goblin just catching you slipping with the day one.
At this point in Ultimate, it's 2024. We're at a 9th placed match in bracket. I never would have thought that I'd have seen a Jeff smash, but we see one nonetheless. Goblin playing air guitar too to get himself ready for this next game as we run it towards Battlefield.
And the question is, can Danny force a game 5 or is our jukebox hero gonna reign supreme? Goblin looking to close it out here on Battlefield, that top platform. Danny maybe trying to find some extra extensions, get some juggles, or just give himself some extra opportunities to land the way Goblin has been so good at trapping them. Regardless, though, it doesn't matter. Horizontal, vertical, Goblin is everywhere and everything all at once right now.
Down throw here, though, in a big way. Goblin just continuing this juggle, and Battlefield seems to be working out very poorly as a counterpick for Danny. Goblin, though, no tech, still plenty of resources to survive. And he's going to go for that dare. Ooh.
And listen, when your tournament life potentially on the line, right, you feel like you got to try something. If you hit it, that's a mental reset you need. If you miss, you don't die. So I like the idea in theory last, but he's not able to find the result. Danny knows that if he goes down big here and loses a stop just like that, it's going to be rough for his mental. You know he doesn't want to lose this game. You know he wants to make that top 8 more than anything here in his swan song for Tennessee. Finds a stock to even it up and gives himself the chance he so desperately needs to reset.
And you notice he switches to the pink wolf skin, maybe trying to channel Ouch and his screw it we ball mentality with some of those offstage interactions that Ouch is so well known for. Danny, though, gonna have to make do with what he's got instead. Down tilt from Goblin clanks out with, don't do that. That's gonna make my heart explode.
There's the grab, right? Into the dash attack there, off the fair, keeping the pressure, coast to coast. I like the attempt to turn that around and push you to the corner at all costs to recognize that, hey, if I can find this little thing to keep you off stage and intercept that recovery, intercept the jump or something, maybe I can steal a stock away early.
Looking to steal something here at the ledge. Danny just neutral get up, spot dodge, back into shield. That's how you can tell he's a little bit worried about Goblin's offense, and for good reason, because as soon as Goblin does choose to go in, it's an up air into a back air for a big kill.
Yeah, Danny there swinging for that down smash, but was a little too far away to 2-frame ledge there as well, so odd miss spacing from him allows Goblin to come back uncontested and now have a chance to seal out the 2-0. Wolf O'Donnell has one stock left in this bracket at last at the moment. He needs to find a way to clutch up and clutch out to keep Tennessee's hopes alive. Danny's has the opportunity here at ledge with the back air. He's got a chance. Can he do it? The crowd is going wild right now.
You hear the home crowd cheering on the hometown hero, but he's got a lot of work to do, especially with Goblin sharking him underneath this platform. The jab and the up air both sour spot, so Goblin's not going to be able to convert it just yet, but Danny's on ledge once again. F-throw here, going to set him up to try and try again. Goblin misses the grab this time, gets behind him, looks for the F-tilt, then gets the up-tilt, just move after move after move, and when the one hits, it hits big. Goblin moves on to loser side top 8, sending Danny home out of the bracket at 9th.
And honestly, for Goblin, if you're going to clutch out to make top 8 in the losers, what better move here at Warehouse Wars for him to close it out with than that up tilt time and time again last. It doesn't matter the matchup. He has found that move when it matters most to find kills that most Roys wouldn't even expect to look for. He has done such a good job at trapping rolls, trapping landings, and playing patient for a character known for their aggression that I'm really excited to see what he can do in top 8. Unfortunately, the run does end for Tennessee's hometown hero at 9th, but he should be proud. That was an incredible run, and the gameplay we saw, I think he cemented himself. Like, that was some top-level Wolf gameplay.
Absolutely. We're going to be seeing more of Danny for the rest of Ultimate and probably for whatever Smash game happens to come next. And with that, outside of one singular set, which is going on over on BTS Smash 2, which is Jazzo versus Shiny Mark, we have our top 8 cemented. So up in winner's side, it's going to be Ice Knight taking on MK Leo.
That's going to be
Samba
a good set.
taking on Mudace. Down in losers, we're going to have Goblin taking on SkyJ, and Mugen taking on whoever ends up winning that set over there.
That is going the right, either a potential Georgia battle or, you know, Pikachu and maybe the best in the world at it, right? You know who Mugen wants to play, but whether or not he gets his wish.
Actually, I think Mugen might want to play Shiny Mark.
Really?
He hates fighting Jazzo.
But at least he's got the familiarity.
True.
Like a Pikachu? If Pikachu that times you out, you think he wants to go that direction?
I don't know how much of it is, the bit, but Khalil does not like playing Jazzo.
That's fair. And while, look, I also just shout out folks at home. We're in focus last.
Oh, yeah,
we
we
locked
focused
in
up.
and locked up, focused in for top 8, but I do think that's going to, as you mentioned, other than this one set in progress, we are here at the end of top 64, and that's going to mean it's the end for us. I know you have another block later today to help close things out, I believe, right?
Yep, so
But-
it'll be myself and Combo on for top 4, and then the
Emma and
wonderful
Lentini.
duo of Emma and Lentini
Yep.
for the